Paul Staehle from 90 Fiancé, and you're watching the Dominic Natty Show.
Are you and Karini living in the same house and sleeping in the same bed?
We are currently living in the same house, and as long as I'm not in trouble and sleeping in the doghouse, then typically I'll try to sleep in the same bed with her, and my son. So all depends on the mood of the day, really, how the things are going. If things are going bad, then I'm in the doghouse, but it's all right. I get there one day at a time.
Okay, so you guys are together working on your marriage.
We're working on it best that we can. Yes.
Okay. Now, has Karini ever cheated on you? And if so, when was the last time?
That's a tough thing to talk about. I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, anything can happen anytime. I'm not quite sure, but I'm probably going to be respectful and not have to avoid that right now. To be honest with you, and people make mistakes in life, and things happen. When I was in my 20s, I'm sure when you were in your 20s, we did crazy things. It happens. It is what it is. It's being in the 20s. It's a wild time.
Have you ever cheated on her?
No.
No. Okay. Gotcha. Has Karini ever brought your child around anyone that you were uncomfortable with? Maybe someone with a criminal record?
Yeah, that has happened. That has happened, and I've definitely voiced my concerns with her on that. I made it abundantly clear for several occasions. Hopefully now we're on the same page. Like I said, what she does and what she wants to go out and do, that's her personal business. She wants to go somewhere, she hang out with somebody, she can hang out and do whatever she wants. It's her life, But my son, to me, is very important. My children are very important. I don't like them going around, and then finding out later they're around certain people that, just, it's scary for any parent. Know those kind of facts, like what I saw, been horrifying. So just made it clear, like, if you want to do something, it's fine. Let me know. I'll watch the kids. That's fine. You do you, but let me watch the kids. And that was my big thing on that, is I tried to explain to you numerous times, and nobody, you don't eat the hand sanitizer bottle. Give that to daddy. Okay. Is that just live your life, do your thing, but make sure our children are in a up close, safe, best environment. You want to go out and dance or drink or wherever you want to do. That's you. That's your body, your choice, your life. But just make sure my children are okay. And I see someone in the chat under the kids. To my knowledge, both the children are mine. With everything we had going on drama-wise, I consider, and actually had some lawyers told me that maybe best for me to do a DNA test just to verify that I am the father. Say that if, say someone disputes it, say, well, you're not the father, so that there's no disputing it. So you say, no, you're not the father of these kids. And I say, yes, I am the father. I have a DNA test saying I'm the father. So, obviously, if you look at Pierre, you can tell he's my kid. You can tell he's my kid. He has my run. He looks like me. He has a lot of mannerisms. So I fully believe it's my child. I really, really, really do. Here comes downstairs from Karini. Karini, your favorite city, Chicago, which you want to go to, there's a gentleman on there. You want to say hello? You want to say hello? She's having a... Why, did I just say hi? Want to say hi? Just say hello. He's from Chicago, your favorite city.
Hello.
Hey, Karini, we were just talking about you. How you doing?
I'm fine.
You look great. How's the baby?
It's okay, thank you.
Yes. Good to
I'm
see you.
All right,
Have a good day.
go eating?
Yes.
Okay, enjoy your meal. Grab some food with her family.
Oh, she's leaving.
Yeah, she's going downstairs. Her family all live in this building. We were here, we had a very nice condominium. And we moved to the Farbella, close to be around her family. So all of her family lived in this building. So the next door neighbors, her family, down one level's her family. Our family are all up and down this building, renting different apartments. So it makes it easy for us to, go out the door, and next door is her family, downstairs is her family. So she gets stressed and everything else. She can just go hang out with her families. There's no fear of being a huge drama escalation and police showing up. All we got to do, if things get out of control, I just go down and knock on her parents' door, her family's door, any of her family members. and say, hey, we're in some problems. You can come talk to her. If things still get escalated, I'll go to a hotel for the night. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'll go to the hotel. I'll relax. I'll come back the next day. Everything's fine. Sometimes things get bad. If it's not too bad, I'll come down, sleep on the sofa. Pierre will come downstairs and sleep with me down here. She gets a little frustrated with that. That was one thing that was actually really cute the day he did. He was opening up the washer and taking things out. And I said, no, close that. He got kind of frustrated. He closed it. And he went over and gave me a magical finger. I'm like, hey. And there was a meme from doing the baby, but it just blew me out of the water. Because anytime Karine gets mad at me, she'll flick me off. So, he sees things. He, baby see, baby do, I guess you could say. So he'll see her get mad and do that. So
you did say that she's bringing the children around men with criminal records. Like, what kind of criminal records? Like, I mean, is it something like? I mean, is it
there was
sexual
an
abuse?
individual that I prevented at one point. I put my foot down and literally I got some people I knew in law enforcement involved at that point because I found it was. I ran the background check. And I ran the background check. It came up with basic pedophile charges. And I explained to her, and she's like, no. He said that's all lies. It's all lies. I'm like, I really don't want my son take the risk with that with my son. I don't want to do that. Now, she never actually met the individual. I put my foot down on that one, and I pushed things through, and so that never happened, and she blocked and talked anymore. But we had somebody from the police department talk to her, about this type of thing. It's risky. And then another individual, he actually had a warrant for his arrest. He actually had so many DUIs. He had his license revoked. He was driving down to pick her up and drive her out of state. And I didn't want my son, first of all, going out of state. Secondly, with somebody who has no license and a warrant and is drinking. So I'm like that. Oh, Pierre, you want to come here and see mommy? Hey.
Hi.
Lunchtime. Yeah. All right. If you need anything, let me know, okay? All right. She's get some food. She's like a living, breathing Snickers commercial. She gets hungry. She gets cranky. She gets a full belly. She's a whole totally different person.
Oh, okay. The Snickers commercial. Yeah.
Quite literally, no. Well, even when we were in TV show and production, I tried to warn them on that stuff. Like if you don't keep fed, then we'll shut down. She'll shut down. She won't film. She won't film for 2-3 days. Hey, what's up? What do you need? Didn't realize? Sure. Let me see what I got in my pocket. Let's go. I got 100 reais. You want 100? Or no. Here we got 10. You want just 10? Okay, that works. All right. Anything else? Let me know. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Sorry, what were you asking?
No, okay. So, and I was reading some of the comments. So, you're saying that she was going to take the kids around?
Oh, that one, yeah, that one I prevented. That
pedophile, but she was going to take him around a pedophile until you looked it up.
Yeah, I looked it up. I saw it, and I went into it with her. And that one, she never got around him. Never got around him. The other ones that she did get around, were the ones that there was one that had like a really bad DUI record. I didn't like him being in the car with him, especially without a car seat or anything like that. I know in Brazil it's normal to have car seats, but in America, and especially somebody that's has a habit of drinking and driving, hanging out, and like that, I don't like that. That was one thing, taking a kid out of state or meeting, other people in someone else's house, their house or hotel or wherever you want to go. The problem is too, and we makes me very, very stressed, is in Lexington. I don't know if Chicago's bad or not, but also in Louisville, Lexington, in southern Indiana, there's actually a whole lot of human trafficking. It's really, really, really bad. The FBI is trying to crack down on it, doing it in broad daylight. But it gets scary. So one thing that got, really, really, really scary was we were fighting. Someone had reached out and offered her a job. And she had told me, hey, this person offered me a job. They're Brazilian, person they talk, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, cool. What's going on with it? Well, kind of find out they were offering her they were going to bring her and Pierre down out of state and live there and take care of them. And then they were going to fly her around to different hotels around the United States to meet with other men. So she found out what it was. She said, I told them I didn't want to do it, but I let you know they offered me this job and I declined it. I said, well, I'm proud of you. I'm very glad you declined that job. I'm very glad you told me the truth and what's going on. But this is something it's called human trafficking. Because once they lure you down, they're saying they're going to help you and Pierre. And then once they get a hold of Pierre, then they're going to hold him like it's collateral, and then you're basically their slave. So, that to me terrified me. You can't be going things like that. Well, she's gotten a lot better on that.
Are you saying that she openly goes out with other men, and before she does, that you do a background check on them?
What I'm saying is, before we had an argument about it, and she told her was, I said, I tell you what, if you want to go with Pierre and everything else, I'm okay with that if I can do a background check to make sure everything's cool before you take my son around those individuals. So we got into her telling me or things like that too. And I think too sometimes she was curious, but then when she did and she went across, especially the one guy, he was, I don't want to say the state, but he's pretty close. He's pretty close to actually where you're at right now. Is where he was from. And she was shocked, thought he was lying, and then I found a mugshot. I was like, here's his mugshot where he's arrested for the crime. And went into it back and forth with her. But like I said, she blocked him. She don't talk to him anymore. That's over. But most of the time, she's more open about it. And she says, is this person? I want to make sure I got the right person now. And she's like, well, he's, this age and this and that. She's like, okay, it's this one. So, okay, great. And then I'll pull up the things. So sometimes she's curious too, But when I first started doing it, I found out about it. She told me she was going with, and I did it. It's like, no. The one with the pedophile charges, it's like, no, I'm not allowing that. That's not happening with Pierre. You do with your life is your business. You're not taking my son anywhere near anything like that. Absolutely, positively not. And she don't talk to him. She blocked him. That whole thing's over with, which is good. I'm very, 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 very happy with that. So. But
she is openly like saying, I'm going to go out with this guy. Obviously, for you to look it up, it has to be pretty upfront, right?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is I can't stop her. There's nothing I can do to stop her to do what she does. What she does is, she's over 18. She's an adult. What she does with her life and her body and her stuff is her business. What I don't like is, when she takes my son and goes things like that. And then I saw some pictures, like of her and somebody else while I was actually, here was, when I was here dealing with some things. Somebody sent me pictures of her and somebody else, and that hit me pretty hard. That made me really sad. But
is she sleeping with these men?
I don't know what's all going on in those things in the past. In the past, I don't know what's going on with that. Would she be gone and be gone overnight, be gone for a few days? Else. I mean, she's sleeping somewhere. She's got to lay her head down somewhere. But I'm not there. So I mean, I'm not gonna say something that I'm not there. I can't see it, and I haven't seen any videos of that stuff. Thank God. So I try not to think about those kind of things as much as I can right now.
But she would go off with a man for sometimes 2 days and come back 2 days later. Yeah.
I mean, she could. I mean, it could have been. I've tried to think maybe he was just a friend. Maybe it was just maybe she met a Brazilian local, like a girl or something, and she went and hang out, something like that. So I try to think, in the best possible scenario more now. I mean, things happen. She's in her 20s, man. I get it. When I was in my 20s, dude, I did some really wild and crazy, stupid stuff. And that's the way I looked at it. It's like, yeah. You're like, yeah, but, you're married and things like that. Yeah, but, I get it. I get it. I totally understand it. And it's, it's just part of life. But.
Well, now she's pregnant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you sure that the baby that she's pregnant with is yours?
Be completely honest with you, being that we're in the house, pretty much all the time together, she had, ovulation tests, things like that. So, I mean, there's like a 99.999% probability he's mine. I know when she's got mad, she said some things that was hurtful. But, I've considered so we can just put everything to rest, that I can say, okay, 100% definitely mine. I thought about it, just doing the DNA, just to say, you know what, definitely my kid. I have the DNA test to prove it. I don't want anybody to dispute it. And someone else want to say, hey, that's my kid. I want to file custody rights or something like that. And he's like, I don't want to, have anything like that happen. So that's one thing I consider doing just for that. But I believe, I really believe that Ethan is mine. We during the whole thing there. Plus, I mean, I had doorbell camera, everything on my house, so I don't see it. I don't see her having the time, because everything going on was stress, everything was going on, we were dealing with. I just don't see it. I really don't see, any of that stuff. I think there's some things said to hurt my feelings, but I just don't believe it. And I firmly believe that both the children are mine. So I don't know. That's my standpoint right now.
Okay. And someone asked the question, are you concerned about any STDs? Are you guys getting tested for that?
There was some things that happened with that. They were minor. They were like kind of common things. So all that stuff got resolved pretty quick. Some I should have really kept private. I was upset when everything was going on. I was very upset when things were going on. I went live and did things that I shouldn't have done. Well, I should not have done. But yeah, I mean, we both got tested with things. Those things all got cleared up, so everything's fine now. It wasn't anything like life-threatening or permanent. There are some things that was minor, but it's been resolved a long time ago, and that's all taken care of now.
Okay. Now, does Karini drink alcohol while she's pregnant?
I'm trying to think of the right thing to say. I'm gonna plead a fifth on that one, fifth on that one, but I'm not gonna go in on that one. I guess you can say.
Okay.
Leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
All right. Now, has Karini ever physically assaulted you?
I mean, she has, but it was like minor. I mean, it was minor. It really didn't hurt that bad. Things like that, and then it happened. I mean, she get frustrated. She do something. Maybe she might get mad because we joke around. Might get like a really hard hit or a slap to the face, something like that. But usually it's like one, maybe two, and then that's it. She gets stressed and frustrated and wants to let her anger out. It's fine. That's okay. But I tell her, I was like, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't appreciate that. Especially when she get really upset and like I forgot what it was that happened. I made some comment or what I did, and she gave me a really hard slap to the face. And I was like, okay, all right, whatever it was, I obviously said or did something, so I was like, all right, probably deserved it, whatever. But yeah, it's just, it happens in anything like that, but nothing that said like it was like permanent damage or anything. It was like, warranted a hospital or anything like that. I was saying, yeah, it happens, things happen.
So how many times has she slapped you in the face?
I don't know. I mean, how many times I've been annoying enough to drive her to that point. I mean, I get it. I mean, sometimes maybe it was me. Maybe I got her frustrated. I got her aggravated, and she just got driven to that point. I really didn't keep a tally sheet, anything like that. But,
I mean, is it like every week, or is it?
Whenever she gets to that point, and then I kind of stop and realize maybe I'm doing or saying something that's frustrating her, maybe I should, look into what I'm doing and change something in that regard. Or like I said, at that point, I'll step out. Either I'll go downstairs, and it's too crazy, then I'll go to a hotel overnight. And usually it's only overnight. I'll go to a hotel overnight, and I'll come back the next day, and then things are a lot more calm. Or I'll go to a hotel, and she'll say, hey, I want to go do this. Hey, I want to do that. Like 4th of July, we had a fight. So I went to a hotel, and she'd say, hey, I want to go see fireworks. Okay. I'll come. I went and got her, took her and Pierre. We went out to a fireworks show, and everything was fine. One minute she's really mad and upset, wants to be alone. The next minute she wants to hang out and do something. So I'm just, it's juggling the fact, okay, when do I need to step back, and give her, plenty of space, when does she want me to be there? And then, that's why sometimes I'll stay in the same house, I'll just give her space, but I'm still in close proximity. So if she needs something, say, hey, I want some food, hey, I want this, hey, I want that, I can help out, I can do, what she needs me to do, which is fine. But if things get too crazy, too hectic, then, I'll step away completely. Until like she texts me and say, hey, come back home, da-da-da, and then I'll come back home. But that's the biggest thing too, is just learning how to juggle space, learning what's safe. If things get too crazy too, I will take Pierre with me when I go. Things get like way out of hand. I'll pick Pierre up, he'll go with me. So things calm down, then I'll come back.
Have you ever assaulted her? Like, do you hit her back when she slaps you in the face?
No.
You just take it?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. If that ever was to happen, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. If I ever laid a hand on her, her family wouldn't tolerate it.
Does Karini currently want to divorce you?
Currently, no. Did she before? She said it 3 times, and that's one thing that's happened every time she's pregnant. And when she first got pregnant for the miscarriage, she went through the whole divorce thing. I mean, we had like an emergency camera crew come down here. I wasn't even aware about, because she told them I'm going to divorce Paul. So they sent down they literally sent down like an emergency camera crew because she told them she was going to divorce me back then. Then we had the miscarriage, and then we were okay. Then she got pregnant with Pierre, and then the whole thing happened too. If you watch, because Full 9 Days, season 2, she talked about divorce. The Other Way, she talked about divorce. It got crazy during filming production. It was very difficult for the film crew. I'm not going to lie, because sometimes you get mad. I don't want to see Paul. I don't want to do with Paul. I want him away from me. I want to divorce him. Da da da. And then, like, the next day, she's going to fast boat to leave, and she's like messaging me, hey, I need you to come here, get on the boat. I was like, no, you told them, the film crew, and me and everybody, you're going to be around me. You have to tell the film crew you want to see me, or I can't see you. They're not going to let me get around security to come see you. You told them you want to see me. She's like, oh, just come over here. I'm like, no, I can't. It doesn't work that way.
So every time that she's pregnant, she wants to get divorced from you? Is that what you said? Like,
If I'm surprised, I mean, I saw the pattern a long time ago, and she's like, I've never done like where I was like, watch season 2, watch The Other Way season 1. I mean, you did the same thing that you're doing, like, very similar on camera. When we were in film and production, you said you want a divorce, when you're pregnant with the first miscarriage, and then when you're pregnant with Pierre, you want a divorce. You're pregnant with Ethan, you're saying you want a divorce on and off. So I mean, it happens every time she's pregnant. She's a vice, and sometimes her vice gets in. I don't like that vice at all. That's the only one.
But the alcohol? You're talking about the drinking?
Well, we had an agreement on that anyway. I got these little test strips, so when she's breastfeeding, she could test her breast milk with the test strip. And I told her, okay, if you want to have some drinks, do you, but use this test strip. And the test strip will come back different colors. If the color's white, then you're fine. The milk is clear, everything's okay. But if it comes back any other shade, do not breastfeed. And that was kind of like our solution to that. That was like our word I'm looking for on that.
Yeah. Resolution.
And so that way she's able to do what she wanted to do, but also that it was safe for children, because she could test it and see if there was any alcohol in the breast milk. She knew she knew then she wasn't supposed to. So that was our kind of resolution to that made things a lot easier.
Okay, so she was drinking while breastfeeding, and then you had these strips to see what the levels were.
Yeah. Okay. That way she understands. It says on the box, okay, if it's white, if it's like this, then it's fine. There's no alcohol, everything's okay. But that was like our thing. So she can do what she wants to do, but then the kids are still safe. So that was my solution to that, and it seemed to be pretty effective. I like that pretty good.
Okay. Now, how has your sex life been recently? Like, I mean, are you guys
I think
still...
the way I'll answer that is about like any married couple sex life is how ours has been. So if you start off when you first start dating in the first year, it's wild, it's crazy, it's several times a day, and then you get down to like one, then you get down to like occasional, and then you're at that stage where it's like once a week or something like that, and it's slow. Like any other married couple out there, I think you could say. So I mean, are we still active? Yeah, it's just gone down a lot. It's like any other married couple. We married 3 years. So we're not doing it every day or multiple times a day by any means, no. Like once a week, something like that, yeah. But that's, like any other married couple. Pretty normal.
Did you guys ever file any restraining orders against each other?
Yep. That whole thing got really, really crazy. It was unfortunate. The whole thing with that thing was unfortunate, but I first went down because she was wanting to take Pierre and run off, and I didn't want her to do that. I didn't want her to go out of state with this other person and everything else. So at that point, I went down and filed a thing first for a family court action. I put on the form. The first form I filled out, if I was restraining order, I wanted a motion put in place where she couldn't just take my kids and leave. That we would have to go to court and the judge had to authorize her before she could leave state. Then there was a whole thing with the other motions that went through that ended up in restraining orders on both of us. One for me, one for her. And that got really crazy. And I first read the one for her because I posted on the internet. And it blew me away. The sheriffs know me. The sheriffs knew me. They came and said, hey, man, you're going to be upset. And I first found out I had it. I went down to the sheriff's department. It's like, I'll come down there and get it. It's not a big deal. So I went down to the sheriff's department. I waited about an hour. They said, hey, we're here. We got your paperwork. You're going to be upset. You're going to be upset. And I'm like, you upset? I read it. And I'm like, wow, what is this? It wasn't Karine's handwriting, and it wasn't how she would say things. A lot of things, I could tell it wasn't her I knew it wasn't her that wrote it because it was her handwriting, but then how it was like the language and stuff wasn't how she would write something down. None of it made any sense. Some of the accusations were just completely, it's like, this is absurd. She wouldn't say anything like this. And, I just was blown away. So that's when I posted, I was like, this is utter bullcrap. And for if anything in it was factual, I wouldn't have posted. I've been like trying to hide that stuff. I don't want to know this kind of stuff. It's crazy. I was like, this is nuts. What did the crap is this? I'm worried at that point. I'm very concerned. I had people calling me asking for money and stuff like that. All kinds of weird stuff was going on. I was upset. I was frustrated. So we talked to lawyers. She went and talked to her lawyer. We got everything figured out. We dropped everything on those, on both the orders. I have a thing in place for custody only. My motion is basically saying I want to make sure I don't give up my parental rights for my children, and it's if anything happens, it has like a child support thing and everything all lined up in my court motion. My lawyer is very good, very great man. He's been doing this for very, 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 very many years, and he has everything lined up in my court motion that I currently have, just to protect my custody rights for my children, so that she can't just take my children. Renee like, say, if you want to go do something, we'll do it together. I'll do something with the kids. I want to be around my children. I don't want you taking my children. Because one individual said he wanted to be the new stepdad and everything else, trying to involve and this other stuff. I'm like, I want to be involved in my children's lives. I want to protect myself to be involved in my children's lives. And I'm going to do what I need to do legally to protect myself so that I have full access to my children in their lives as they're growing up.
Has Karini ever attempted suicide?
She's done some things in the past that were concerning. She's done some things that we actually even halted production. She's done some things that was, that I felt that it was necessary for her to talk to somebody. They got scary. I know there was one time she was in a hospital for a few nights because I was concerned because she made some comments to some other people as well as myself. And when those comments were made, I felt that at that point it was best for me to take some action. Her family hated me for it; they didn't like it. But I mean, I'll tell you the comments that were made, and you can tell me you tell me your opinion if I made the right call. So she made a comment to somebody else that she asked them, "Hey, do people that commit suicide go to heaven?" Okay, that's the first thing. It was kind of red flaggish. Then she told me, she said, "Hey, I want to be alone tonight. Will you take Pierre, take him over to your mom's house to Pierre with him? I'll pump some breast milk." This is a long time ago. I'll pump some breast milk. You take Pierre to your mom's house. Give me, I want all the cameras turned off. I'm like, okay. And I want the strongest sleeping medicine you have in the house. And then just come check on me in the morning. If that all happened to you in the 24-hour period, wouldn't you be a little concerned for their mental health well-being? A little bit.
Yeah.
So, so I was concerned at that point. And at that point, it's like, yeah, I think it's time. You go talk to somebody and everything else. I was very concerned. I was very concerned with things going on. Now, she said she just wanted to sleep. She just wanted to be alone, everything else like that. But when the other person, approached me and said that, and all stuff happened, I was concerned. I was legitimately concerned for my wife. And then, of course, the first thing that happened, everything happened. I hate to say this, too. If anything ever happened to her and she did do something, I'll be the first suspect in a murder investigation. I'd be, Paul murdered Karini. And it's like, anytime she looks like, I think that she might be in a dark place, I want to get her somewhere where she's in a better place as quickly as I humanly can. Now, she does some things sometimes, where I'm not going to say what they are, but it's like I think she just did it because she wanted, to get my attention. Yeah, I think there's been a few things she did things she just wanted to get my attention. If someone really wanted to kill themselves, I think they would kill themselves. They would be quiet, they wouldn't say anything, and they would do certain things to accomplish their goal. But when I saw her, in that point, because she had done things in the past where it's like, it's concerning, but saying things like that and being kind of straight about it, that's when I got like, okay, I think there's something going on here. I think it's time, someone talks to her. And then that actually didn't go well. It didn't go well, the whole thing with that. Her family got upset.
Is she bipolar?
There's been some things stated, some suspicions by some doctors. But before they could complete the diagnosis, she withdrew from therapy each time. So nothing is 100% confirmed. That's just she pulled out of therapy. But I mean, it's like she would go from one thing to the next on her moods. One minute she'd be really super happy, one minute she'd be really sad, one minute she hates me, next minute she's a perfect wife and everything else. So
And there's some things she did was a little bit reckless. But there's definitely some suspicions, and a lot of people that got involved that tried to help out. But you can't, if someone doesn't want to go to therapy, doesn't want to get help, that's not going to happen.
But she does suffer from postpartum depression after.
She did. That was one thing that they definitely thought was strong. That was one thing that affected us a lot during production, and why our filming got shut down. A lot of stuff. That's one part of the reason why she wasn't in one of the tell-alls, because she got very emotional. And Sharp and TLC were very respectful, and they understood that she was having a lot of stuff going on emotionally. They wanted the best for her mental health, so they allowed her to step out of the situation so she could focus on things. If she had been, doing some of the production we were continuing to do, or she had been like saying the tell-alls are always kind of crazy, very dramatic, kind of crazy, and all it's going to take is one person say something off and really hit her mental health and have her snap. I think they knew that. I knew that. I was worried about it. I'm not gonna lie. They knew that, and so they just went ahead and said, we're just, let her step back on this one respectfully. And I was there and she wasn't. That's why.
Does Karini currently have her green card? You mentioned her green card earlier.
Yeah, her green card. Before we left, I was loading things in our SUV to go to the airport the night before, and a guy went in the back. And he stole out a little safe in there, had a lot of document stuff in it. He got driver's license. She got her permit. Permit. Got her state ID. He got her Kentucky state ID, her Social Security card. He got her bank cards. He got her green card. He got all her stuff. Hey, did he enjoy food? You good? You eat good? Oh, does he smile? Look at smile. Look at happy.
Oh. Hey, Karini.
Hey. Oh, he needs to do the diaper on. So I'll for a second. But yeah, I think it's the big thing. It's just,
Did you say a guy stole it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we had a guy at the camera, which he's actually in jail now. The detective actually arrested the individual that has it, so he's actually incarcerated. So he actually took the green card. So we don't have the physical copy. We can't get another one made because she's outside the United States. We can't do a renewal. A lot of things in the United States.
With your miscarried child, did you do something with the body? Is that correct?
Yes. We still. That's one thing you do here very different in Brazil. In America, you can't even keep a tooth. You can't even keep your tooth in America. But here, they left. They gave us. My understanding was something to help her cope. I didn't know exactly what it was they gave us. Until later when I found out what it was. But they did actually give us, they gave us the, when we left the hospital. I didn't realize what it was at first until later. Then when I found out what it was, I was kind of like, wow, I was in shock, the whole situation. But we do need to do a burial. I think Tonantzin would be the best place.
Where is it now? Where's the baby's body now?
It's, it is in the refrigerator.
Can we see it?
Want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. I don't know much about the Brazilian customs.
Yeah, it's got tape around the jar, so you can't see the inside, so that's good. So this is the jar. That's
okay.
Yeah, it's inside here. But we need to do a burial. I'm thinking in Tonantzin, make around her grandmother's grave. I think it would be best, or somewhere at her parents' graves. To do a burial there, because I wanted, to do something respectful. Where we're at right now, we really don't have anywhere to bury him where we're at right now. But I think Tonantzin's in the graveyard there. Look at some candles, maybe like a little memorial plate. I think is the best thing. What's up, sweetie?
Okay. Now,
right here.
Were you guys fired from TLC, or will we see you back on the show?
We were not fired. We were basically given time off to deal with our situations. One thing with people have to understand about 90 Day Fiancé is anything there, you never know who they're going to have. And there's been couples, there's a very popular couple on the show. I'm not going to say their name of who they are, but if they see this and they know what I'm talking about, and they still do different things on the show, they were actually in production on something and they just changed their mind, and they pulled them, and now they do something differently on the show. So everything always changes at any given time. Nothing's guaranteed, unless if you're fired, then they can actually sue you. For example, if you are in production and you violate your contract and you get fired, they can actually sue you for all the production, funds that they use to produce to where you are at that point of the show. They cannot pay you. They can do a lot of things, if you violate contract and you do get fired. We didn't get fired. Nothing that happened. We didn't do violations. Something that happened. The last time I talked to the producer that I talked to, it was a long time ago. It was actually right around the time of the tell-all. I talked to that one particular producer. I haven't talked to him since the tell-all. But we both talked for a bit about it. I said, yeah, I think we both talked about it. And he's like, can I step back, not film right now, get some space to try to deal with things. And he said, let's, do an update when things are probably more positive. We'll talk about doing an update when things are more positive. But right now, I think you just need to focus on, your marriage and the family, and not stress or worry about television. And he was real nice about it, real cool about it, and everything was fine. We still under contract? Yes, we are still under contract with them. We still have under a signed agreement with them.
Some of the people in the comments are saying that you had a threesome with you and your wife and another person. Is there truth to that?
No, I wish, but no.
You'd be open to it. Are you open to it?
Whatever, different things in marriage like that, I don't know, whatever could help promote things in the marriage, but no, there's never been a threesome or anything like that, no.
But if it would promote the marriage, you'd introduce another guy?
If there was something that would help the health of that and family like that, and it was healthy, I would consider things. I would just consider things.
You could consider. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, because there's these rumors. A lot of cast members on 90 Day Fiancé have criminal records. And there's rumors that they've even filmed with people with serious criminal records, like someone with charge of murder or pedophilia charges. Have you heard anything, or do you know anything about that?
Yeah. I mean, the pedophile one, that was on Dr. Phil. He went Dr. Phil. They filmed down in Sao Paulo, and they were actually in production when the whole thing happened. And that actually, like I said, that couple actually went on Dr. Phil. They went very public about it. But apparently, from my understanding, he had actually, they were in production, and then the background check was late. The background check came back. I found out he had some very concerning charges, and then everything, they just cut it off. Everything got cut off immediately at that point. The other one I heard about, well, I'm not going to say where I heard about it, but I heard about that there was another couple back on season 1. This is a rumor that I heard, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to drop any names or anything else like that. But there was a person they were filming in Chicago. Actually, you're right. They were filming in Chicago. They're filming a film crew. Yeah, they know. You'd still be in prison. They're filming a film crew in Chicago, and they were filming a film crew in. I want to say it was Ukraine. It was Russia or Ukraine. It was one of those two countries. I know it was over there. I'm fairly positive it was Ukraine. And they were over there, and then when the guy was getting the aircraft, he was arrested and charged. And so obviously their storyline got canceled. No one ever heard anything about it from that point. I think that was the crazy stories that I overheard supposedly happened.
He's a murderer? For murder?
I'm charged. That's all I heard. That was a rumor that I heard. That was a rumor that I heard from somebody that was in Chicago. He was getting on the aircraft. He got charged. So the whole storyline, all that stuff, all got nixed. Are you going to say goodbye? Say goodbye. This is from Chicago.
Goodbye.
Karine, you look great. How's the pregnancy going?
That's all right.
How's the pregnancy going? How's your pregnancy?
You look happy.